So welcome everybody to our October 30th, our last team call for October. I cannot believe that it's almost November. I just can't, because I feel like October flew by before I even realized it. It was like October 15th, and I was like, oh crap, it's already halfway over. I know a lot of you guys said that it felt the same way, and it's only going to get worse in November and December, because the holidays, I feel like they're the months that you want to take the longest because they have so much good stuff in them, and then they go by so fast. But like months like August take like a million years to get through. But that's okay. I'm just going to enjoy this holiday season that's coming up because this is by far my favorite time of year. And I'm really, really excited about our call today. It's about balance, but I'm calling it the unbalancing act because I actually don't really believe all that much in balance. I think that unbalance is really where it's at, and just finding something that works for you is really the key. And everybody's constant struggle for balance is actually just stressing themselves out. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But first, I want to do some recognition because we have some new Emeralds on our team. So congratulations to Rebecca and Stephanie, who both went Emerald today. So if you guys get a chance, congratulate them on their Facebook page or wherever you're connected to them. For everybody that's new here, Emerald is the first promotion that you can earn as a coach. It opens you up to being able to earn income based on your volume. So it's a very, very exciting first step towards building a substantial coaching business for yourself. It means that you have signed up 2 coaches under you, and one is on your left leg and one is on your right. You can see that little graphic. If you don't know what that means, it is in your new coach training, so don't worry, you'll learn all about it. Next, I want to talk about Success Club. We have 1 day left, so this is not the final list, but we already have a bunch of coaches qualified, and these numbers this month are crazy. Look at Vanessa with 22 points. I mean, that's just insane. Lisa with 14, and then Christina, who is a new coach, with 10. She can't be here tonight because she is working, but that's really awesome, and she hasn't even really done much like announcing that she's a new coach. She's just been kind of talking to people as she goes, spreading the word, and that's awesome. So then we have a bunch of people who are qualified for Success Club 5. Rebecca, Tara Lee, Jess, Summer, and Sherry. And I just want to give, I don't know if Summer's on here because I can't see everybody right now, but I just want to give a shout out to Summer because she's at Success Club 6 right now, and she just ordered her challenge pack and signed up the week of October 3rd. So that is really phenomenal for Summer that she's kind of getting started with such a bang. I'm really proud of her. She was really nervous to jump in, and I'm really excited that she's got so much momentum already going on. If you see a little asterisk by your name, that means that you technically have the points for Success Club, but you are not currently qualified, and that could mean that there is an issue with your home direct PV. So you need to go into your coach online office tonight or tomorrow and see what's up. You need 90 PV on home direct to qualify for Success Club, which just basically means you have to be, like, that's the same as a Shakeology orders, but it needs to be on home direct to qualify for Success Club. That is Beachbody's way of making sure that its business building coaches have integrity, that they're not just out there peddling products and stuff that they're not using. So make sure that if you did get your Shakeology order on home direct this month and it's not showing up, that you get in touch with Coach Relations and get that straightened out by the end of the day tomorrow so that you don't miss out on qualifying when you've already got the points. And then over on the other side, we have so many people on the board. And I want to give a little bit of encouragement to Jessica, Ann, and Sarah, who all have 4 points. They're so close. You ladies, if you can hear me, do not give up with 4 points, with only 1 left to go. That's just 1 challenge pack or 1 Shakeology HD order. Reach out to anybody who talked to you before who said no, to anybody that you think might be into it. You can get that last point easily tomorrow. You can do it. So you 3 girls, I want to see your name on the left side of these columns by the end of the day tomorrow. And then all the rest of you guys that are on the board, you still have more than enough time. There are so many coaches that go from 0 to 5 and 6 just in one afternoon's time following up with people. So do not give up just because you're not quite there yet. A day is more than enough time to make some magic happen. So just keep on keeping on with it. Keep reaching out to people, following up, all that good stuff. Okay. Oh, one last thing. I don't have it on here just because I didn't want to get into a big volume chart, but this week was the biggest volume that we've had in Team BTFP history. It was just crazy. It jumped by 1,000 on the week side that I have, which is just like an insane amount to have such a big jump. So it really, I mean, that's not me. That's not counting anything I'm doing. That's just all of you guys. So that just speaks volumes to how driven and motivated you guys are, how many people you guys are reaching, and how you guys are moving your businesses forward and creating success for your own life. It's so, so, so exciting, and I just want to keep seeing that trend move up and up and up through the end of the year so we can create just crap tons of momentum to go into New Year's resolution time with. Okay. Today we're talking about the unbalancing act. So to start, I figured I would tell you a little bit about me and the stuff that I'm balancing, since not all of you guys may know me very well. So I'm Becca, and I am a wife. I've been a wife for 4 years now. Actually, my anniversary was just last weekend, so like 4 years in a week. Woo! I am a mom to an almost 3-year-old boy. I am a textbook introvert, like classic introvert. Like I get overwhelmed at parties and lots of noise and stimulation and all that kind of stuff. I like literally have to like go into a quiet room. Actually, I'll jump back to that in a second. I've been a coach for 14 months. So I started a year from this past August ago. And before that, and since then, I've been a blogger and an Instagrammer. I'm a small business owner, actually, in addition to coaching. My husband and I have run a photography business for the last almost 8 years, 7 years, 8 years, 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, last 7 years. So that's like my daytime, like 9 to 5 full-time job. And what I was going to say about being an introvert is we shoot a lot of weddings, and I am so introverted and I get so overwhelmed by like lots of noise and people and stimulation that at weddings during the reception, I usually end up like hitting like a breaking point and having to go and just like sit in the bathroom for 5 minutes where it's like quiet just to like just recompose, and then I go back out into all the like crazy dancing and chaos of the wedding reception. I love photography, though, outside of my business, just as a hobby. I love the art of it. I have a crazy vintage camera collection, but my favorite is actually to shoot on old Polaroid. I'm a music lover. My husband and I actually met in a band. We were in an acoustic rock band together in college. I am a big-time girl power cheerleader. I always have been. Before I was a coach, when I was blogging, my blog was dedicated to helping other female creative entrepreneurs to be successful. So when I found coaching, that kind of fit right in with my passions already. I'm super, super passionate. I mean, not obviously I want guys to succeed too, but my heart really lies in helping women feel empowered on their own, that they can be successful, that they can bring their own history and talents and strengths to the table and create something really, really good for themselves. I am a super competitive, big-time goal setter. It is probably to my own detriment, but I set some pretty audacious goals for myself, and I'm really competitive by nature with them. So that also trickles down into the way that I lead our team. I set big goals for our team too. But I love it because I feel like if you shoot for the moon and you miss, then you're still up in the stars. So it was worth trying, right? And then I'm a team leader. I founded TeamBTFP when I started last August, and since then we've gone from just a little teeny baby new team to being ranked 300 and something out of 200,000 plus teams so far. And obviously that, is kind of the stuff that I juggle on top of, normal life and friendships and family stuff. I know that there are some of you guys that have even more stuff on your list, but I just wanted to give you a little idea of the stuff that I'm doing. Okay, so next, the struggle is real. So no matter where you are in life, whether you are self-employed, whether you're just coaching full-time, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, or whether you work a 9 to 5 out of the house still, odds are you feel like you're juggling a lot of things. As women, we tend to take on a lot of responsibility. We wear a lot of hats in our life. And here's some of the things that I juggle and struggle with, and that I think is common for a lot of women. Obviously, your family, even if you don't have kids, that could be, just your biological family, your significant other, your pets, if you have fur babies. But juggling family, workouts, personal development, stuff that, makes you grow as a person, housework, laundry, maintaining your life, all those like really horrible and boring grown-up responsibilities that we have to manage that just take time, like they suck to have to do them, but they just eat up a bunch of time. I know laundry takes me like a million years. Seems like it could take a whole day. Our social media lives, our lives on our phone, trying to maintain connections through all these different channels. And then if we use social media for business, that adds a whole nother element to it. Sometimes I feel like that can take over a lot of our time in life, and we can feel almost frazzled by in our life. It's just like this idea of connection with all these people. So that can be kind of crazy. Our sex lives, our relationships with our husbands, I know that that's probably taboo to talk about, but that's something that a lot of us have to balance in our life, making sure that we're committing time to our spouse and to that relationship, that one-on-one quality time that is so, so, so important to a successful, healthy marriage and a successful, healthy relationship. Running our businesses, whether that's coaching, whether that's your 9 to 5 job, whether that's a combination of the both of them, that is probably what takes up the majority of your time. And then our family and friends, our other relationships that can't just vanish because we're now a coach. We have to maintain all of that stuff. So for everybody that's feeling frazzled, don't feel crazy. This is a real struggle trying to figure out where the happy medium is between all these things. And for a lot of you, you're adding coaching on top of all of this other stuff that you already have going on. And as a new coach, you can kind of feel like, oh my gosh, where am I going to have time to read, 10 pages of personal development and update all these groups? And then if I do that, I also have to answer messages from people that are asking me about this. And then on top of that, I'm supposed to be posting on social media. And how am I supposed to do all of this stuff with all the other stuff in my life? It can be a little overwhelming, but it's really not that bad. We're going to break it down today and talk about some strategies for helping you find that perfect balance of unbalance in your life. Okay, I want everybody to get out a pen and a piece of paper or open up a little tab where they can type on their computers, because we're going to go through a little bit of a time audit for your lives. So everybody get something open and then thumbs me up when you've got it. All right, everybody good? All right, so and what we're going to do right now is a quick time audit. And after the call, you have some quiet time if you want to really dig in deeper and really go through stuff. But odds are, if we do a real-time audit of your day, you'll find so much extra time that you could use for the things that are really important that just kind of gets nickel and dimed away. Have you ever had a $20 bill in your wallet and you don't normally carry cash, and after a week it's just gone and you haven't bought anything of substance? You have no idea where this $20 went, but when you think back on it, you're like, oh well, I bought that Frosty at the Wendy's drive-thru, and then I went to the grocery store and I picked up a carton of milk, and then I gave $1 to my friend so she could get a soda out of the soda machine, and then I had to pay the valet, and all of a sudden $20 is gone, but you didn't actually buy it on something that was important to you. Well, it's the same with our time. The same thing can happen. All of a sudden, you get wrapped up in something, you get on Facebook to update your challenge groups, and an hour and a half later, you haven't really accomplished anything, but now you're somehow on your ex-boyfriend's cousin's Facebook wall, liking her pictures of her kids, and you don't know how you got there. And that's what happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. So we're going to look at some of the main time wasters that happen kind of in everybody's life. And so I want you guys, as we're going through these, to write down if any of these are things that you think you could maybe do a time audit and find some extra time. So Facebook surfing is the #1 offender for coaches because we use Facebook as a tool in our business, and it's a great tool, and I'm so grateful that it's a platform that we can utilize to reach people and connect people and to get our message out there. It's an amazing free tool for us, but it is also a huge temptation to waste time. So how many of you guys get on Facebook and before you've even clicked to the group that you need to update, you are already scrolling your newsfeed? Or you click on your notifications and you're going through one by one, and then you're clicking over to each of those things and you're getting sucked into each of those person's pages. And 15 minutes later, you still haven't updated your groups, and now you're running out of time to do stuff in the morning. It happens to me all the time, and I'm sure that it happens to more of you guys too. So what I do to help me stay focused on Facebook is I complete focus, like blinders on when it comes to Facebook. I log into Facebook, and on the left sidebar, I click on my groups. The first thing I do, I don't let myself look at anything in the newsfeed. I don't let myself look at my messages. I don't let myself click on my notifications. I know that little red box is like so aggressive, and you just want to click on it to get rid of it because it bothers you when it's up there, but you have to fight the urge, at least for right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the activities that are the most important, that have to get done in a timely fashion. And then you'll start to notice that once you really pinpoint your time and you really get strict about not wasting it, you'll end up having more time later that's kind of just free time or downtime where you can just kind of go back and breeze through your Facebook newsfeed and get caught up on everybody's lives and go and comment on all the people who've talked to you and all that kind of stuff. But for now, I want you to go straight to your groups, update your groups, get all of that done because that's really important to do first thing. Answer people's, questions and comments, your challengers in your groups, like the stuff that they're posting, give them thumbs up, give them encouragement, post your assignment for the day. Same if you're leading a team training, same if you're leading some sort of free group like a clean eating group or whatever. Do all that right away. Then, if you have allocated time, move on to your messages because people are waiting on responses for you. Maybe they're waiting to order, and we don't want them to get antsy and go order off Amazon or eBay instead of from us. So it's always good to get back to them right away. And then we can start going through the other things. Second biggest time waster is trying to copy others. And I know that this doesn't really sound like a time waster, but let me explain to you what I mean by this. So just because other coaches are doing something a certain way, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it the same way. Now, there are the 3 vital behaviors that we say everybody should do to grow their business: personal development, getting your story out there to invite people, and, taking care of yourself, drinking your Shakeology, doing your workout every day. Those are kind of like the basics, the foundation. But just because another coach is, posting a yoga pose every single day doesn't mean that now you have to become a yogi and post yoga poses every day. Just because another coach takes photos of every single one of their meals and all of the 21-day fix containers and ingredients that they have to do, that's great and that's beautiful. But if that's not your thing, you don't have to do it. Just because another coach is on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and they have a killer blog and they have a Facebook fan page and they manage all of it, it doesn't mean that you have to do that either. So sometimes we can spend so much time running around trying to quote unquote keep up with the Joneses that we're just wasting time. We're just spinning our tires and not actually being effective ourselves. So rather than doing that, focus on finding your voice, your niche, what you're really good at, what you enjoy sharing, and then just focus on that. Don't feel like just because another coach that you look up to is doing this certain thing that you have to do that too. Be your own coach, make your own kind of trail, and figure out what you actually enjoy spending time on and what you're good at and what really gives you a positive reaction from your niche market, from the people you're trying to reach, and focus on that. Let all the other stuff fall away. You have time to build later, but you don't have to try and spread yourself too thin right from the beginning. Okay, the third one. This one's a little bit tough love, so I love you guys, but I'm going to be tough love on you anyway. Too much brainstorming and not enough doing is a huge time waster. And I put this on here because I am #1 guilty party. I am the person who will spend an entire afternoon breezing Pinterest, coming up with like ideas for a new blog series or for a new group, and then trying to work them all out. And then I get fizzled out because I spent so much energy on it and it never actually happens because now I'm behind on all the other stuff I have to do. So if you find yourself currently planning these projects, like maybe you've decided, I don't know, that you want to like start this whole big blog and have all of these like magazine editorial style blog series, and you need to do photo shoots for them and you need to plan all this stuff out. That's great. I love the creativity. I think that you should totally do it, but I don't think that you should spend all your time brainstorming for the project if you haven't finished all of the other really important things that can be moving you forward right now first. Those are the kind of things that you do after all of the other important stuff in your life has been done and you have extra time to work on it. Or you really intentionally schedule in little bits of time throughout your week to work on those bigger projects rather than letting other things in your life suffer, like maybe your relationship or maybe like keeping up with your house and your life or whatever it is for the sake of those big brainstorms. So if you find yourself constantly like jotting down notebooks for hours or pinning stuff for hours, just dreaming big, I love that, and I don't want you to lose that fire and that vision, but I do want you to be really, really careful about creating time for you to brainstorm and to have that kind of creative time, but make that in its own little section and then make sure that you still have time for the other important things before that. And last, work with the willing. So you can spend a lot of time dragging people, challengers and coaches along that aren't really willing to do what they need to do to be successful, or that just don't really want it as much as you. As coaches, we usually get into this because we have such a heart for other people and we really want to help other people and we want to see them succeed. And a lot of times people come to us on this emotional high. They're so excited about, what's happening. They're so excited about the potential. But then a lot of times they'll fizzle out when it gets into the nitty-gritty of having to do the work. This happens with challengers, going through challenge groups and having to, work out and eat healthy every day. And it happens with coaches when they realize, like, this isn't just something where you sign up and you're a millionaire the next day. Like, this is something that's actually a business, and businesses take consistent work. So you have to make sure that you work with the willing. I know it can be really hard to let go of those people that like you were putting all your hope into for your business, but you have to. You have to do it for your own sanity, for your own time management purposes. The little like number trick that you can use is to spend 80% of your time working with your top 20%, because the top 20% are going to produce the most returns for you and your business. So find the people who are really, really, really going after it, who are committed, that are being consistent, and really invest in them, because that is going to pay off for you better. That's a better investment in your time. And then use the leftover time to check in with those people who are maybe not so active, to kind of follow up, to encourage them, but don't spend all your time dragging them through stuff that they're just not at a point to do right now. Okay, moving on. So the solution, you're like, okay, Becca, I get that I waste a lot of time, but like, how do we fix this? So here are some really simple things that we can do to start getting out of that frazzled, time wasted, all over the place, never enough time in a day kind of cycle. So the first thing, and it's, really basic, but it holds so true, is to make a schedule. So you know all the things going on in your life and the priorities of them. It's your job to kind of figure out how much time you're going to allocate to each thing. So after this call, like later tonight if you're up, or, sometime this weekend, I want you to sit down. Maybe you can sit down with your spouse or with your roommates, if you have roommates, or whoever is important in your life, and say, like, this is a really important thing to me, this coaching thing. Here are the goals that I want to achieve by the end of the year, by next summer, and that's going to take some time investment on my part. So where can we make a schedule that I can do that? Where can we kind of schedule our life and our day so that works? So maybe that means that, your husband is going to get the baby ready to go to school so that you can update your groups in the morning. Maybe that's going to be your deal. Maybe that means that you're going to wake up a little bit earlier before everybody's up and do your workout and update your groups before then, so that you're kind of getting everything done and it's not eating into your mom time and your family time. Maybe that means that in the evening, you're going to set aside an hour of time that maybe you just would have spent sitting on the sofa watching TV, and that's going to be your dedicated power hour. But it's great to sit down with the people that mean a lot to you, that are in your life, and say, hey, I really need you to support me in the fact that I'm not going to be able to just sit around on the sofa all night long with you. After we're done with all of our stuff and we've had our quality time, I'm going to take an hour and I'm going to really plug into this coaching thing. And I just want you to know that that's going to be my schedule, and just kind of really be open communication-wise. So make that schedule and then stick with it. And then find your prime time. So everybody has kind of like a prime time of day where they're just like on it. Like some people wake up in the morning and they're just like all cylinders firing, 120%. That is not me. I am not that person. I don't start having cylinders all fire at the same time till like at least 2 p.m. I hit my prime in the afternoon. So if there is something that takes a lot of effort or a lot of brain power for me, I make sure to schedule afternoon time to do it. I try not to schedule any errands or meetings during that time because I know that if I can just be sitting with my computer, I can crank out stuff left and right in the afternoon because that is my good time to get stuff done. Okay, next. It's a term called eat the frog, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard that, but it basically means to do the hardest thing that you don't really want to do first. It's kind of like when you were a kid and your parents made you eat your vegetables before eating like the pasta and the mac and cheese on your plate. It's the same concept. Do you get the bad stuff, the hard stuff, the stuff that is the least savory to you over with first. So I forget where I read it. I think it was in the New York Times, but there was a study done on willpower, and the science actually proved that humans have like a willpower bank, basically, and we go through it during the day. And so a lot of the time, if you put off stuff that's hard for you to do till the end of the day, the odds of you not doing it go up. So if you get the stuff done that you don't want to do that requires the most willpower, like workouts, doing emails, having to do those kind of monotonous tasks, if you get that done in the beginning of the day when your willpower bank is still really high, the odds of you getting it done are really, really good. This is also why when you're using a lot of willpower in one section of your life, you may notice that your willpower starts to wane in another section. So if you're being like really, really strict with your workouts and food, you may notice that your online shopping starts to kind of go up and up and up because you're losing your willpower to budget. It happens in like across the board in people's lives. It was the coolest study to show, and for me, I realized that it's so true. For me, if I don't get my workout done in the morning, the chances of me skipping it go up and up and up the higher in the day it gets. So like if I don't get it done in the morning, I have to get it done like around lunchtime. If I don't get it done around lunchtime, I have to get it done in the afternoon. If I miss the afternoon, there's pretty much like no chance that it's gonna happen. Like I have to like really like work myself up emotionally, like hype myself up to do it at night, because at night I just wanna like power down and relax. So you know yourself best. You know kind of how your cycle goes, and you know the things that you like doing the least that use the most willpower. Bump those up to the beginning of your to-do list and get them done right away. Focus and don't let any distractions come in your way, and you will notice that your productivity will just shoot through the roof. Last, ask for help. I know that as women and moms especially, we have like this mom guilt that we just have to do everything ourselves. Like we just have to handle it, and asking for help is like a failure, or it's proving that maybe we weren't strong enough or able enough to do it all. But if you do have people around you supporting you, that support system, ask them for help, because they want you to succeed and they want you to be happier just as much as you want to be happier too. So maybe that is just asking a friend or a babysitter over once a week so that you can have some uninterrupted business time. Or maybe that means asking your husband to be supportive of giving you that power hour, you know, that was normally during like your hangout time to get stuff done. Maybe that just means that for a certain amount of time, it doesn't have to be all the time, for a certain amount of time, when you're pushing for a really big goal, you just sit down with your family and you say, listen, Mama's working on something really important for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to have to be putting a little more of my energy in that. Then after, I'm going to be 100% yours again. I promise we'll like have a big celebration and we'll go back to where we were before. But for this little bit of time, I just need you guys to give me a chance to really try this. And you'd be surprised, I think, at how much people are willing to help when you open those communications, when you're really honest with what you want to do and the time limit that you're doing it, rather than just vanishing, you know, after dinner and having your husband and your kids be like, where'd Mom go? Like, what is she doing? And having them always feel like you're on your phone or on your computer. If you kind of just set up the schedule and open those communication doors, you'll find that it ends up being a lot better. So I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about what my day is like. Now, obviously, my day is probably different than a lot of your guys' days, since I my 9 to 5 is actually at home, and it's not actually 9 to 5. So my schedule is a little different, and my days vary based on if it's our busy season for our photography job or not. But my days are, I wake up and I do my workout right in the morning. That, for me, is eating the frog. I have to get up and do it right away. Like, I can't talk to my husband. I can't sit down at my computer. I have to literally like walk from one room into the kitchen to get water and E&E, and then just into the room where I work out, and that's it. Because if I don't do that, I'll get distracted and I won't get my workout done. So I do that, and I get my shower, my coffee. I sit at my computer and I update all my challenge groups. I get back to all the people that have talked to me. I'll sit down and take like a little breather, and that's usually when I'll start doing kind of more creative stuff, like maybe a blog post, or I'll post on Facebook or Instagram one of my 3 to 5 posts for the day. And I'll answer after I kind of feel like I've woken up and my brain's going. I'll dig into my messages and emails, because that takes a little more attention for me than some of the other stuff. And then after that, I just work on my own business, whether that means that I need to switch gears for photography, or whether that means that I'm working on a bigger project for Beachbody, because at that point I've gotten a bunch of that stuff done. I do personal development at night. I like to read before I go to bed. So then I've knocked out all of my 3 vital behaviors for the day. Like I said before, my prime is in the afternoon. So I try and make sure that anything that takes a lot of like creative willpower is scheduled for then. And then the way that I ask for help is that I delegate childcare. So 2 days a week, our son goes to an in-home daycare, which is basically like fancied up babysitting. And my husband right now knows that I'm pushing for a really big goal in coaching, and that I'm going to be, from now through the end of the year, really, really, really focused on our team. And he's fully supportive of that. We've had a discussion about it. He knows what's happening. He knows why I want to do it and what it's going to take. And so that's kind of the way that we've delegated. Next, the hybrid effect. So another really, really good way to find the balance in your life is to merge your passions. So instead of feeling like you have to do all of these things separately and juggle them, if you can merge them all into one thing, it makes it so much easier and natural. So what I mean by this is taking your life and your talents and the things that you like to do and merging them with Beachbody. So for me, that's writing and photography. I loved blogging before. I was actually a professional blogger for a while, so I really enjoy writing and doing stuff like that, and I love photography. I've been a professional photographer for years, so I love doing that. So the way that I've merged them into Beachbody is that I use my Instagram to be creative with photography. I take my actual good camera out when I go out on my paddleboard, and I like to take photos out there. And then I have a blog, and I almost use my Instagram like a blog sometimes. And I get to write. I get to write about my journey, what it means to me to be on this fitness journey and this transformation. I get to write about what it means to have a team and to get to be a coach in the business side of things. And so for me, that's merged a bunch of different areas in my life that before I would have been doing separately, all into one. Next, merging your family and friends into Beachbody. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It doesn't have to be something that's kept completely separate. I merge our family and Beachbody all the time. You'll see photos of like Cadence and me playing around. I'll post photos of him stealing my Shakeology. I'll talk about the things that Beachbody is affording, the opportunities for our family to do that we couldn't do before. I make it all just one big thing. So ask yourself, why are you even coaching? And then look at the stuff that you say and you talk about and think, do my posts reflect that? Are you sharing the things that are important to you in your life, your talents, your interests, your family, your friends, your relationships? Are you sharing that, or are you just talking about promos and products and a challenge pack is this much money and here's our next group? Are you really merging the things that are important to you and sharing them, or are you just being a salesman? Because the former is going to be a lot more fun for you, and it's going to help you connect to people in a much more organic and deeper way. I think it'll help you to be more successful than the latter. So then lastly, implement real life. Don't feel like you only have to show a perfect side of you in regards to your coaching business. You don't have to be at a certain body weight. Let me say that again. You do not have to be at a specific body weight, at a specific body image, at a specific level of fitness. I don't want anybody on our team to have that misconception. I started coaching 2 weeks into my journey. I had 70 pounds to lose. I was not at an ideal. I'm still not at I don't look like a fitness model. I don't look like a fitness trainer. I look like a normal person. I look like a mom. I have stretch marks. I have like this weird saggy skin on my stomach that hangs funny. Like I'm normal. I'm in progress. And we are all works in progress. There is not necessarily like a perfection end point. I think that it's the most inspiring when you're sharing your middle, when you're sharing everything that's happening in the middle. How are you making choices that help you become the better version of yourself than you were before? Not necessarily a perfect version or an ideal version. Perfect is not inspiring. Perfect isn't even real. So why would we want to try and show people that? So don't feel like you have to show a perfectly balanced 21-day fix meal. You don't have to. Show people how you make healthy choices work in your real life when you can't do the 21-day fix. Do you have to show only photos of yourself when you look absolutely perfect? No. Did you fall off the wagon? That's fine. Talk about getting back on. Talk about how it's about progress, not perfection. Enlist people to come and join you in a recommitment to your goals. Use anything that is real life to be able to share your heart for people and your heart for helping others, and don't think that you have to wait until you get to a specific point. Now, this can also be with other things. Don't feel like you have to have perfect graphics or images or whatever. Sometimes done is way better than perfect. And if you keep getting paralyzed by this perfectionism, you're just going to have to summon some willpower and bust through it. Just put it out there. Let it be imperfect. It's going to inspire someone, and it's going to help you move forward as a coach and as a business owner, I promise. Okay, so let's take a second to be honest. I want you to, when we're done with this call or sometime this weekend, go onto whatever social media you use the most when it comes to coaching. So for me, it's kind of a tie between Instagram and my personal Facebook. For you, it may be a blog, it may be a Facebook fan page, it may be something totally different. Whatever it is, scroll through the last 3 days of posts, and I want you to take yourself out of yourself, and I want you to view it as if you didn't know you, as if you just stumbled upon this account. Would the things that you see in the last 3 days be appealing to you? Would they make you connect to the person that you're seeing and want to know more about them, or want to get to know them as a person, or want to follow them so you could see more of what they're saying? Are you talking about your why? Consistently woven into the threads of the things that you share? Are you relating coaching and a healthy lifestyle and a fit lifestyle to everyday life? It's just kind of like a natural feel to it. Are you sharing an authentic impression of yourself, your life, your passions, and your purpose? Or are you regurgitating information that you've gotten from other people on our team, or from Beachbody corporate, or from somewhere else online? So I want you to kind of like look at those things objectively and try and be brutally honest with yourself, because it's only going to help yourself if you find ways for you to improve. And you don't have to share this with anyone. I'm not going to make you like come back and tell me or post it in our team page. This is just for you. Okay, so after you do that, you should find a couple little ways maybe where you can improve. And if you're doing great, then that's awesome. That's really great. Maybe you can kind of help be a leader in our team for answering questions for new people on how to post well online and share yourself online. But if maybe you find that there are some places where you're slacking or lacking, or where you can improve, then kind of make a concerted effort over the next few weeks to focus a little bit more of your attention in those things. Last. Is your family used to seeing the back of your phone more than your eyes? Now, I am the first person to admit that I am a big-time workaholic. It's something that I struggle with a lot, because I find a lot of personal fulfillment in career success. That's just part of my personality type. So I feel the pain of other workaholics that just want to go, 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 and, you know, not stop for a couple of seconds. But for myself, I've had to be really, really, really intentional when it comes to time with my spouse and time with our child, of making sure that they're getting FaceTime with me. And that doesn't mean sitting on the sofa on my phone answering, messages from our coaches and challengers, not even looking at them. That means putting the phone completely away, turning off notifications, and having that one-on-one time with the relationships that matter with me. So for our team, I really want this to be something that's kind of included in our ethos, is that you take care of your relationships first, then you get to work. I want everybody to make sure that they put a priority on their marriage, on their relationship with their kids, on their relationship with their family or their significant other if you're not married yet, or whoever it is that is really, really, really important in your life, because you never want this to become something that they resent in your life because it's taking you away from them, and you don't want coaching to become something that drives a wedge in your family or your relationships. Coaching is supposed to add to your life, not take away from it. So set specific work time, and then conversely, set specific family quality time. Maybe when your kids get home from school, for those 3 hours between then and dinner, that is kid time. You and your kids. You're not going to be checking Facebook messages. You're not going to be answering emails. You're going to close your laptop, put your phone away, and dial in to what's going on in your house. Maybe after your baby goes to sleep, that next hour is just going to be quality time with you and your husband. Maybe that means you just eat dinner and sit around. Maybe that means you talk. Maybe that means you find a babysitter and go on a date. Whatever it is, set that time and then be really, really present during it. Try not to be that person that's sitting there with somebody else, like being like, yeah, that sounds great, because that doesn't make anybody feel like you're connecting with them. Okay, then lastly, thank you guys for being here so much. I'm going to